What up, what up? What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, man. Make sure you get in the comments. Let me know you here. Put a thumbs up or something. Let me know you rocking with me today. But what's going on, y'all? It's your boy B Cooks back with another solo pod, whatever you want to call it, live stream. You know, four locals only type shit. You already know how I get down. Um, I had to get in here because one, I have to. What is? Hold on. I have to make sure that I start by acknowledging something. And that is my failure. This week I failed. I failed. How did I fail? I set a goal this week, a challenge for myself to stream every single day. And I didn't. I didn't do it. So therefore I failed. And with acknowledging that, I have to also consider why did I fail, right? I failed because I didn't challenge myself. I made excuses after excuse to not live up to what I had set out for myself. I don't know if it was DJ Squirt. What's happening, my boy? I don't know if it was fear, um, worry. I don't know if I'm considering others' feelings or opinions, but I failed. I freaking failed. I failed. And because of the fact that I didn't hold myself accountable for the goal I set for myself, and therefore I didn't achieve it. So as a result, I failed, and I have to hold myself accountable and acknowledge that. So this week, I failed, and it was something that could have been prevented if I stopped giving a fuck. It's not like I got anything to lose, right? So I can't keep doing that because you deserve to fail without effort. So I deserved it. Um, I will say I'm going to do better. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I can't say I'm sitting here going to turn over a new leaf tomorrow. I don't know, but I definitely have to be honest with myself and let myself know that I failed. And again, like it sucks saying it because I knew I didn't try. I didn't try hard enough. That's why I failed. That's the only reason. You know. So that's what I wanted to start this one with, man. I failed, and I got to acknowledge it. But today's pod is really inspired by my boy David Taylor, aka DJ Scooter B, and he made a post today because I didn't want to get into the whole like Father's Day bag, like, but this kind of still plays into it because it's dealing with like just being a man overall, you know. So my boy David says, Why are men conditioned to believe that caring is a weakness? We're told to be tough, to not let things bother us, to brush it off. But here's the truth: if it didn't matter, we wouldn't mention it. Think about it. If I'm a great cook and I keep saying no one likes my food, yet I act like it doesn't bother me, deep down it does. Because if it truly didn't matter, I wouldn't bring it up again and again. So what if our obsession with pretending? So what is our obsession with pretending we don't care? Is it just a mask? What if behind the bravado, we're secretly craving acknowledgement, validation, and connection? Maybe it's time we stop hiding our feelings behind the lie that caring is a weakness. Because in truth, caring is what makes us human. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what we need to embrace. Um, I feel like if we're gonna, well, I read this from a male perspective, like not necessarily from a human perspective. So that's what I'm gonna speak from. Because as men, like you started out with, we're told to brush things off or turn the other cheek or, and be tough. You know, I've learned that sometimes all that hyper masculinity don't accomplish a damn thing. And sometimes it's unrealistic. You know, as a man that considers himself a manly man, as much as you, whatever that means, um, I've learned that things like crying doesn't make you weak. I mean, I know we're taught as boys like not to cry and stuff like that. That is, I don't think that's realistic. Crying is a natural emotion, right? Crying is natural. Being afraid is natural. You know, being nervous is natural. And I feel like some of these things as men, when we I don't know, when we go through these particular emotions, we are considered weak for whatever reason. I mean, if you think about it, right? Some of the people we admire or that are considered legendary or iconic or or any of that, they're probably not described as caring until what they can't do what they're legendary for. That's when they're looked at as caring. Or when we can't kill or be barbaric or provide that bravado anymore. But people don't understand, like, most of that shit is a mask for us because that's what we have to do. As men, we go out and fight every single day. Little do people know, or more than what they're willing to acknowledge. You know, um, I feel like caring is why us as men, do some of the things we do. And those, and for us caring, and we react or protect or provide or what have you, that's because we care. I feel like as men we tend to destroy what we don't care about as a way to protect what we do care about. And it could be two ways to look at it. Like the things we don't care about, we either don't acknowledge or we destroy, right? And when it comes to that destruction of what we don't care and or do care about, that's the only time we're acknowledged as men, right? When we're just this barbaric figure. You know, people don't understand that shit's exhausting. That's not a state that we want to be in all the time. Mentally being like that, will destroy us in the end. You know, like I don't think that we should sit here and believe that caring is something that men should not do. I think it's something that may be undervalued, and being conditioned as men to be so overly masculine or barbaric sometimes leads to our demise or to our failure. Everything isn't resolved or provided for or protected with acts of violence or any of that. I think it's okay to approach things with care. I don't, and that's why I say school to be. This was a great question because like a lot of times as men, when we become vulnerable, it's looked at as weakness. You know, just because we're not picking up a heavy piece of weight doesn't mean we're not strong. You know what I mean? Like I feel like sometimes because in order to care, you got to have a heart, right? And I know that is probably the easiest thing to manipulate because I guess us as men acknowledging that we care is a little bit a level of softness, but we should care about stuff, right? Like we should care about the things we work hard for, or our family, or our children, or that's what drives us to do what we do, even if it leads to crashing out. A lot of times, if you dig deeper, it's because we cared about something. Like the biggest gangster is who he is because he cares about something. You know, a person that don't care about nothing ain't gonna be out here too long. Whether they be in a jail cell or 6 feet under, you know what I'm saying? And if and to make sure I don't go too off tangent or whatever, we're told to be tough, and tough has its place, right? Tough has its place, but tough can get you killed. You know, I've never been a person that believes like just because you can fight or something that make you like a gangster, or like just because you sell the most weight that means you're bigger and badder or the king of the jungle, or I don't know. I mean, we come we're all so different, right? I hate the fact that us men are looked at as like one thing, like we're supposed to be just this one thing. There's one description of what a man is supposed to be, right? Like you got the big, you know, jolly green giant kind of nigga, strong, can pick up, can move a car or whatever, intimidating, but he might be dumb as bricks, right? That man is still a man, right? He still cares about things. And being that he's strong doesn't make him more manly than the man that's weak, right? That other man, though he may not be able to move a mountain, he might be able to, invent the device that can help the strong man do it. You know, so I don't know, man. Like caring, I feel like it's something we're supposed to do. I feel like not caring is kind of weird, not caring about anything. But the fact that it's looked at as almost like a feminine trait, doesn't make any sense to me. And even if we generalize it, when it comes to caring, we do sometimes mask, okay, well, this one person doesn't, like, as you used an example, Scooter B, you said, if I'm a great cook and I'm always worried about somebody that don't like my cooking, like, why am I worried about the person that don't like it rather than the person that does? And what is that? Like, are we walking around expecting everyone to like our stuff? Like, have we been now conditioned to think that validation means quality or validation means success? Like, what are we actually begging for when we say when we're using the term caring, right? Are we worried about people's opinion? Are we caring about others? And I can use real life examples. Like, I got a friend that sometimes I get frustrated with him when he brings up a certain subject, and I'm like, why do you give a fuck? Like, why do you care about that so much? Like, that thing doesn't pay you. It doesn't breathe into you. It doesn't inspire you or motivate you. So why give a fuck? Why do you care? You know, do we fall into the trap of wanting everybody to like us? Is that what the caring thing is? Like, yo, what's up, Count? What's happening, my boy? Um, are we wearing the mask that says I don't care, but I care about everything? How often do we spend time acknowledging what we claim we don't care about? And I'll be honest, sometimes I find myself being rude to people, to like my friends with when it comes to stuff I don't care about, because I might come out and just be like, bro, I don't care, don't care. Even with like my daughter, right? With children, sometimes children, or even as adults, we tend to care about stuff that doesn't matter. Like, I tell my daughter all the time, like, she might get upset about something, and I'll be like, baby girl, let's slow down real quick. Did did they did this situation, did they take something from you? Did they hurt your family? Did they take food off your plate, clothes off your back? You know, if ain't none of that happen, why are we investing so much energy in it, right? We spend so much time, like we said, caring is the word, right? The word of the day is caring. Why do we care about so much stuff that doesn't give back to us at all, or doesn't push us forward in any way? And when we do care, why is it looked at as soft? Maybe we want to be better. Maybe, I don't know. There's a bunch of questions that really could be asked in reference to it, right? Is it, do we wear the mask of not caring to hide that we do? Like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with caring about something. I mean, it at least lets us know that something is of importance, or priority, or something of that nature in your life, right? Like, there's a lot of things I care about that I don't necessarily publicly acknowledge, right? And there's a lot of things I could honestly say that I don't care about that I have spoke on. And why? Maybe because other people gave a fuck about it, and I didn't understand why. But when it comes to like caring, and in this instance, maybe it's about our talents, or maybe we care about what people think of the product we're pushing, or because I get like that sometimes where I'll get discouraged because I'm worrying about who cares. Right? I fall victim. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I do worry about who cares. I think we all do at times because we want whatever it is to be good, right? That means somebody else cares. We make somebody else care, right? Is that, I don't know. But I definitely don't think caring is a weakness. I feel like it is more so something that's natural that we need to use as fuel, right? Like you can care that somebody don't like your stuff, right? Maybe, but maybe care about making your stuff better rather than who actually doesn't care about it. Or maybe we look at caring as like the glass half empty rather than half full. Or like when we show emotion for caring, it's like we're looking at the glass as half empty rather than it motivating us to be better, right? I don't know. But I can acknowledge that we do sometimes mask that we care about something. And I think caring also, don't you have to be care about something in order to be passionate about it, right? I don't think you could be passionate about something without caring. So if you're passionate about what you do, of course you're going to care about what people may think a little. Maybe you may care about the ones you look up to, what the people you look up to think. Appreciate that, Squirt. And that's why I say like I don't think caring is weak because there are people I wouldn't fight for or even kill for or provide for or go out of my way for or even be friends with or talk to or even dap up if I just didn't give a fuck. I know, and maybe I'm a little different because of my own life experiences or trauma. But when I genuinely don't give a fuck, like there's usually very little time, effort, or anything I'll put towards it if I didn't care. Just like I care about my failures, right? Because I don't enjoy what that feels like. I don't like what failure feels like, right? That's why I care about that. So, with acknowledging that, that motivated me to get on the camera today, right? To get on here today because I care about the fact that I failed. And acknowledging that failure and caring about the fact that I failed, I don't think is weakness, right? So we can apply that to what anything, couldn't we? I don't think it's wrong to acknowledge something you care about, but I think where we make the mistake is spending too much time mm, in it rather than using it to move more, I guess, to move closer to things we do care about. I think I think even we can maybe argue that we spend too much time on things we actually should not care about. So, and then with doing that, it becomes something we care about, right? Does that make sense? Even when it comes to like things we say we do or don't like, if we spend a lot of time doing something we don't like, you would assume that they like it, right? If they keep doing it. So if you keep acknowledging something you say you don't care about, you're really telling us you care. So to Scooter B's point, like embrace the fact that you do care about it, and maybe that should motivate you to get a different result. I don't know, or work to convince those you do care about to care more. Am I talking crazy? Like, or should we invest more time in caring about what we care about? Hmm. Maybe we should say we should spend more time investing in what we do care about. In what we don't care about, we shouldn't acknowledge at all. Hmm. Conversation for the day. Caring. What drives us? Is it what we care about, or are we driven by what we think others care about or think of us? I don't know. Questions that need answers. But look, that's all I got for today. It's your boy B Cooks. Four Locals only for life. And as always, be safe.